All right, guys. All right, guys. I'm gonna talk about squad lead a little bit more. Do a little deep dive. I can't stress this enough. When you're playing squad lead, you don't just set OPs. You know, your job is to listen to your commander, follow the objectives, give direction to your squad. So, like a good example, right? Especially in Warzone, what we see, or Warfare, what we see a lot is you don't usually see people defending, you see everyone attacking, right? So the squad lead's job is to set the stage for everybody in their squad. This is what we're doing. Here's the objective. So you're gonna say we're gonna fucking defend Saint Mariglaise. So you jump in, right? You need to put the defend marker so everyone can see it, and you roll. Treat everyone in your squad like they've never played before. It's the easiest way to go about this. Don't like yell at them or degrade them or whatever, but like be clear and concise on what you want people to do, what roles you want them to fill, etc., etc. You need to be checking your map options. Sometimes you'll hear good commander, people communicate, they'll say, jig squad defend, east side of the point, so you'll mark your defend marker, on the east side of the point here, and that's where you guys are going to hold, right? It's rare you see people get into that unless you're doing clan matches, but still, you want to kind of take that level of coordination in with everything. If you're all are attacking, you want to put the attack marker. Hey, let's build an attack forward red zone Gary here. Let's attack this way, right? Like, call it out. Be clear, be specific. Don't just dump marks. Like, stuff like this when you're doing, like, actual battles against anyone worth a damn. It's pretty obvious on where, like, you'd expect it's on the road, right? Right on the line. Fine, not bad, but like somewhere in here, like in the city, you can hide a little more, might be a better Gary, better forward Gary with a good, like this is a great red zone Gary here because you're set for Rue and you're set for La Prairie. You'll win the map pretty easy with something like that. That's really aggressive, but the biggest pieces are to like set the stage, control the map, don't just focus on your KD, right? Build the garrisons. Like, you've got supplies here, so you need to go get them. You need to be telling people, go get your supplies here, go defend here, go attack here. Talk, kind of jumping in, talking about marks. All these marks that are placed here that you can see, people in your squad cannot see. So, you need to make sure you kind of call out or mirror that for your guys. If you're running like AT heavy, bunch of satchels, right? You might want to copy some of these tank pangs for your boys to see. Um, it's important for that communication to go up and down. So if your squad doesn't know that, you need to tell them, right? And if the command doesn't know something your squad knows, it needs to go up to the command. So like right here, you can see vehicles on the marker, right? I don't know what they are, but I always like to jump in and just, light vehicle, right? Boom. One of these is probably a tank. I don't know what's what. I would then turn around and jump to command chat and say, we gotta, I don't know. I don't have visual on those vehicles. I pinged it from, um, the recon, whatever, right? And then people can see. So, like, we've got one Gary here. We've got one Gary here looking at this map. Rue is open. You've got one OP. I understand that we're taking this pretty quickly and that we've probably steamrolled this team I just joined, but it's really important that you have a Gary somewhere on Rue, not just this backup Gary, because if we lose this push and they take out this garrison, you're screwed here, right? And you're going to lose. This is a very easy Gary to get locked out right on the border like that, right straight between 2 points. It's not hard for someone to come in and flank from here or for here, so it doesn't have to be on the point, right? You can put another one here somewhere in this vicinity. On the point is usually preferred, but here or here even is fine, somewhere around here, but around these buildings, somewhere kind of protect it, right? Um, like right there, probably where I'd put mine, but to each their own. You see Able Squad saying they're moving here. It's those little details, right, that are going to separate the men from the boys. So it's my squad, defense here, right? Like, I don't see anyone at Rue. There's not a single squad lead at Rue. That means there's not a single squad defending. So if I had a full squad, I'd say Jig Squad is going to defend Rue. We're going to hold, and then I'd proceed to build that Gary, move forward, and rock and roll, right? So, like, let me get rid of this because I don't know if it's good or not. Um, that's the kind of shit you're looking at. I mean, like right now, F squad is probably checking this Gary just to make sure, right? So like this Gary's hot. You don't want to lose this Gary, so you'd want to have one of your guys go on it, because if you lose that, you can see there's no real backup for this. There's nothing really on the point, but they're not capping Rue. Someone just dropped. That was good. The Gary went out. Probably Golf or the commander built a new one to keep that running. But look at that. No one's on defense. We're losing Rue. Echo Squad is just getting here. There's already supplies on the point. All he has to do is build it. Bravo Squad's here, right? But like this could have been avoided when they were attacking by one squad lead, pushing back here, building that on the point, so these boys don't have to run. By the time they get there, this could be halfway gone. Is it a recon squad going and fucking with Rue? Who knows? This is probably recon here, so it's unlikely that this is a recon squad as well. It's probably an attack, and the fact that 3 guys, you know, you're still losing it, right? So, you know, there's supplies and ammo. There should be a Gary here, right? No ifs, ands, or buts. There should be a Gary. I don't know that distance from there to there, but looks like you can do it. You know, if these were my squad mates, I'd be calling out Captain Jag, and I'd be calling out Sergeant Goofy, and I'd be saying, hey guys, you need to redeploy on Rue. If my squad was defending, and this is my boy up here, Hono, or this is my boy here, this Owawa, whatever the fuck, I'd say, hey, Owawa, you need to be defending, redeploy, get back on Rue, leave La Prairie. You're defending, right? And he needs to redeploy or run and get on Rue. I mean, you can see there's still, you know, enemy vehicle here. What type of vehicle? I have no idea, right? So we've got this airhead up. Let's put these infantry markers up. And, you know, you want to help your boys out, give them that direction. So constantly be looking at the map. It's key, you know, pulling your binos out, looking at the map. It's just, I can't explain how critical it is. But these infantry markers for everyone on your map, I mean, it makes or breaks you. You got a vehicle here. What is it? Who knows? I'm not there at the battle. I can't see it, but ping it for everybody so that they know what's going on and rock and roll, right? So that's how you ping, that's how you focus, that's how you give the directions. So you need to be, there you go, look at that. Finally got a Gary up. Put the defend marker down for your boys, right? The Gary's going to finally go. You got, like if this was my boy, if Bravo was my boy, I'd ping that there's a guy right there. So that they knew. He's not my guy, he's not there. You can tell. You got recon here, you got recon here probably, and it looks like recon on our arty. So it's, you know, this kind of communication is a squad lead. That's what really makes or breaks you. Don't be afraid when you're first learning how to put Garys. You're not going to put them in the best spot. I don't put them in the best spot. Like I said, you know, I would have just built the one right there on Rue. Looks like they've already lost it, right? Look at that. Had they had some foresight and you had one squad back here defending, I mean, this is halfway. You've got Golf, Echo, Kilo, and Alpha still attacking. The commander needs to be telling them to go back and defend. There's no point in being on La Prairie because Rue's halfway gone, and you can see on the map with the recon that they outnumber you. You're not going to take it back with 4 squads pushed up. These guys are running back. By the time they get there, this point's going to be taken. They should have redeployed when it was at, you know, 70, 75%. This was a waste of energy and effort, again, because they're going to take Rue, and this garrison is going to get cleared out, and you're not going to hold Rue from La Prairie at this point in time. So it's those types of like awareness and deep dives that can really separate you. Some of this you're going to learn by just doing it with experience. Again, this is probably not the best Gary ever, but had you not been losing Rue, it would be fine. You know, you'd probably want one somewhere in this sector, or maybe even like a red zone somewhere around here or over here if you can get it. Hot swap, I think I mentioned that in other video, but yeah, I mean, you can see right there, boom, lost Rue, you lost this. The recon took out the Gary. Hotel squad put up one, right? But again, you've still got supplies on St. Mariglaise, and no one's built a garrison on St. Mariglaise. You've got Alpha, Charlie, Kilo still fucking around with La Prairie, and you know you've lost Rue, and you need at least one squad defending St. Mariglaise. So Fox squad needs to be pushing St. Mariglaise, and they need to be building a garrison. I'm saying all this because when you're the squad lead, you can't expect these blueberries, or anyone for that matter, is going to do what they need to do, and you probably need to just take it on yourself, redeploy, go over here, drop an OP for your boys, and run up. Speaking of OPs, right? Your OP, if you're defending, like they're gonna take Rue back from the looks of it, more than likely. But if you're defending, you know, you probably want it on the point. If you're attacking, you probably don't want it on the point. You probably want it, like if you're pushing the prairie, you probably want it somewhere around here, or somewhere back here, or over this direction, right? Like I like to build my Garys, my OPs away from the garrison. So like right here, boom, you've got supplies going down. He's anticipating taking Rue. You're attacking, so I'd probably put my OP somewhere here or over in this direction. So away from the point, so that I don't have to constantly put a new one down every minute, and then I can go do the shit that the other squad should do. You can tell you've got Echo and Bravi both going to St. Mariglace to probably put up a garrison. Neither one of them will probably communicate it with each other. This stems from you've got a squad full of 6 people, maybe everyone's being too loud and you don't tell them to shut up. It could be you don't have mics, whatever. I mean, you've got Echo, Fox, Charlie, Bravo, all on St. Mariglace. You're taking Rue. Why are they at St. Mariglace? You need one squad lead to put that garrison up, and that should have been done earlier. So now you're at Rue, right? Okay, cool, this is good. This is great. At this point, these guys should redeploy. Or run, because it looks like you've got no OPs or anything. Someone needs to build something here, or wait, right? But still build there, because it's a solid backup Gary. Put something here, put one on Rue, put a Gary up on Rue, push up, put your OP or something around here in the red zone, and build a forward garrison. You can put it in the red zone, you can put it in the blue zone, whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect, but from how quickly they took Rue, the focus probably needs to be defending Rue. So all these guys should be redeploying now, but they're not. How do you get them to do it? You fucking yell at them, you pull up the map, and you call them out by name. You don't just say, hey team, redeploy. It's, hey Brad, redeploy. You're in the wrong spot. Don't run. You're not going to get here in time. Hey Occult, redeploy. You're not going to get here in time. Hey Moose, redeploy. You get the drift, you get the idea, but that's basically how you do this. And as a squad lead, you're going to be spending a lot of your time on the map trying to figure this out, figuring out what you need to do, what your teammates aren't doing. You need to assume that the other squad leads don't know how to squad lead, and they do what everyone else does, which is just drop OPs down. Again, it's not about being perfect. You're not going to be perfect. You could still lose maps. You can still screw this up. You can get killed when you run on your way to do this and it not work. Ideally, you should be calling out in your squad one or two guys, preferably your support, to go with you and start taking that out, making those moves happen, playing the objectives. But you're looking more. Your job is to do bigger picture, like Golf. Golf is wasting his time. If I was the squad lead, I'd say, hey Golf, we're gonna lose Rue. Your push is not. It's in vain. Please get on Rue. Your commander should be doing that, but not every commander is competent. So anyway, that's the gist of it. Because if you hold, I mean, on this map, right, if you hold St. Mariglace, you win, but you also don't want to just fight pitter-patter over a couple of points for an hour and a half unless you're trying to boost. You might want to actually win the game. Anyway, that's some bigger picture overview tactics on squad lead without telling you what to do on each map. It doesn't really matter if you build a red zone Gary on this side or on this side, or if you put your forward Gary here or here, but you should always have more than one, right? Like you have two kind of backups here. I'd argue when you're losing Rue that this one's in vain. This is the better backup, and then when you put one on Rue, you put one on Rue. This red zone Gary, yeah, it would have been nice, but it's probably too close to the point, or they're running from La Prairie to Rue, and it's just going to stay red. So you probably want it closer to the blue line. Just little things, right? Somewhere around here, since you've got that there. Probably somewhere around here is probably the better spot for the Gary. Not to nitpick or whatever, those are just my opinions. Everyone does this different. Tomato, tomato, you'll figure out what you like to do. I also don't like to just beeline from the same garrison into the point that everyone else is doing. I'm a fan of flanking. Trying to go around, be sneaky, I don't know. I'm hoping these guys are, I'm hoping that's recon. I really am. I'm really hoping Alpha's recon. This call-in supplies, it's fine. It's cool. Take Rue. Keep wasting supplies on it. No big deal. Here and here, probably the better places, right? And then you can throw one on the front side of Rue. and push La Prairie. But anyway, so that's it for now.